Hey everyone, it's Kevin and Mark with What Elon Said, where we have daily discussions about Elon's tweets, replies, and likes, and try to glean some insights from his interviews and presentations. And what's today? February 12th. So yeah, let's jump right into it.
Sounds good.
All right.
Now we're going to go to tweets and replies, right?
That's right. Let's jump over here and we'll just catch up to the latest. Here we have a happy birthday wish to Jared Isaacman, who was the commander for the Inspiration 4 space flight. Yeah, happy birthday.
Looks like fun.
Yeah, it looks like, so it was actually I think a like and a reply to Haley Arsenault, who was also one of the astronauts up there on that flight, and the one who works at St. Jude's Hospital, and I think also works at SpaceX now. Did you see that?
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So she's the one who sent the happy birthday wish. Eating space pizza is what it looks like. So that looks pretty rad.
This is like day 2, hour 50. They didn't know what to do with themselves.
They're like, all right, enough of seeing the Earth. Time to just toss some pizza around and have a good time eating. Or trying to eat, looks like. So yeah, pretty cool. I don't know how old he is. How old do you think Jared is?
He looks pretty young, I would say.
Yeah, young dude.
I don't even know if he's 38 or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
To have that much to be able to buy a rocket for 3 days, pretty impressive.
Yeah, well, it's the Netflix special about it covered his business endeavors and how he got to where he is now. It's pretty cool.
Yes.
Let's see.
Okay, hold on for a second. I hear a lot of noise outside, so I don't know if you're hearing it.
So he was born in 1983. No, I don't hear it. Or,
okay.
Unless you have like an emergency or something.
No. 19.
Yeah, so 39. Right?
Okay, so he's pretty young.
Oh yeah.
That much success. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's really impressive. And he's gone to space. And hold up, he actually caught the pizza there. So yeah, happy birthday, Jared. That's pretty cool. Next, I'd say we get into a tweet that made quite a bit of commotion 20 hours ago at this point. And that is, the duty of a leader is to serve their people, not for people to serve them.
Wow, that many comments, 22,000.
Oh yeah.
How many comments are?
Well, you got 89,000 retweets. Oh yeah, let's go back here. 22,000 comments on it.
That's amazing.
Yep. Now you gotta take that with a grain of salt, right? Probably half of them are spam nonsense in here, or comments about Dogecoin or Catcoin or whatever else people want to comment on in here. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I saw a lot of good ones too. So
what I wonder if it's all just Dogecoin.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
It's good, inspirational. So I wonder if what brought him to do that tweet. He just thought of it, or is it responding to something else?
Well, I don't know, but to some extent, it seems related to the situation in Canada. At least I saw, right, I think further down here, there was a response to live. Now, see, why can't I see that? So maybe it's under likes here.
Yes, I saw that before. It was a like for something.
Yeah, right here, live free. And I want to say that it was kind of related to that, or at least that's how they came across in my feed.
Yes, you're probably right.
Right. So
Interesting.
I
And it's
mean,
also a commentary on his style, that he feels that he's serving not just in a public domain, but in a private company. Maybe he feels that's his style within his company. I don't know if that is
yeah.
true, but
I mean, I'm guessing that that's something that he strives for,
yeah,
and you know, maybe is a message to others, you know, and espousing some of his leadership philosophies. But hey, who knows? Maybe also an attempt to remind himself that, you know, that's the way you lead best, and that's what a leader should do.
true.
I don't think many could, just taking the line as it is, taking Elon out of it, and maybe whatever he was tweeting that in relation to out of it. Gosh, I would think that most people would agree with that line
That's right.
as being a pretty solid leadership slash management style slash, you know, almost like a political approach.
True. Absolutely. Be interesting to see. I mean, he's been commenting on the Canadian crisis more and more.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
This next one is interesting, about how it's improving over and over. I know there's some other self-driving comments today as well, but I like this, how he says it should be like a person does.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought the reply was interesting, and, you know, really just an interesting development in FSD, right? There's always been a lot of criticism about the creep, right? Creep out into the intersection, which is something that I think a lot of folks thought, you know, that would be impossible for cameras to be able to do that, because they can't get an image around a building or a bush or some sort of structure obstructing view around a corner. So, you know, what most humans do is just kind of lean their head forward to get that view.
That's right.
And then reverse if they need to, or just creep out and reverse if they need to. And just amazing that they've now built that into, it's progressing that way.
It's amazing always watching these videos that, you know, they're in sort of moderate traffic here. The first time in there, it must freak you out. Like, you must want to take over every second.
Yeah, so I was listening to a great discussion this morning with Dave Lee and Gally from Hyperchange, and there was some really good discussion about being or publishing your experiences with Tesla and their vehicles, and FSD beta in particular. And you know, Gally was struggling a little bit with, like, do I continue? Like, okay, so I said we cut that out, or, you know, we had some experiences where it was a little dicey, you know, and I want to show the best of what Tesla can offer, but also give an honest view of it. And Dave was expressing his feelings that, you know, when he got beta and started to do the drives, he was recording them, but he ultimately realized, like, this is too complicated to express to the masses without them being in the car with you, or actually like experiencing the beta behind the wheel, you know, and people are just going to immediately zoom in on the crazy stuff that happens and not appreciate, I guess, the progress that it makes, that you experience when you're behind the wheel.
Yep.
So it's like a double-edged sword publishing this stuff, you know, like you want to show people what it's like, get people excited for the future, but also you got to be careful not to scare people, right?
That's right. Yeah, pros and cons. I mean, but it is interesting to see the good thing about Galley's recording it is that we get to see over time. I mean, you could go back to
Yeah,
one of his recordings from 8 months ago and compare it to this recent one. I'm sure it's night and day.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah, and he's definitely he used to be doing it in more controlled environments. I think he's letting it go anywhere now. So it's definitely very different.
Yeah, but different personalities are different behind the wheel. He
Yes.
says that he's a very, very cautious driver and he gets very nervous using it. And then
Yeah.
there's others like Omar is obviously very comfortable with it and wants to experience everything, all the challenges that he can put FSD through.
Throw
I
it all.
think ultimately he gives a very, very optimistic view. I was actually in another Galley video recently with Omar in it. I was happy to hear him express like more of a realistic view or
Uh-huh.
opinion, which is that look, it's not perfect, but like it's just amazing for what it is,
Yeah.
and you have to admit that it's getting better. And there's 60,000 people testing this right now, gaining data and gaining edge cases that are just going to make it exponentially better in a
Yeah.
very short time frame.
It
So yeah,
seems like it.
like let's look at the positives here.
That's right. I mean, it seems like, as you're saying, the exponentially better. Granted, we haven't ridden it, so we don't know the experience, but just from the videos, it does seem that in the last 2 months, there's been a drastic increase in the number of whatever they call it, taking control instances of it overall,
Yeah, um,
interventions or
interventions, right?
yes,
Um, you're saying there's
cool.
been a lot more
A lot
or less?
less. Like they've,
Less.
it
Yeah,
seems like the it's crossed the point suddenly where it's getting better, as good as a human, and then it'll accelerate, and we won't even
yeah.
know how good it is. We won't even understand how much better it is because it'll just seem perfect.
Well, I think that's what Elon was looking at, and I think he expressed this in one of his recent interviews when he gave the 1 year timeline. Or he said he'd be surprised if it wasn't completed by the end of this year. Now,
That's right.
he's been saying that for years, right? And he's been off on his timelines, but I think they're really getting some real data now to look at and analyze and look at these interventions and look at the uses or time behind the wheel with it and where it's being used. And I think the data shows, the line just shows that these interventions will keep going down and the car will keep getting better until yeah, it is just much safer than the average driver. And then it's a matter of, well, how much safer do we need it to be before it's legal,
Yeah. Yes. Well, he
or
said, I mean,
fully turned on
wasn't
without
that his
any.
reply to I think to Dave Lee that he's spending all his time on Raptor 2 and full self driving now?
Mhm.
No mention of the bots, the Android. It was
Yeah,
all just on full self driving and Raptor.
I think the FSD is essential to getting the bot to a place to where it would ever be useful,
That's true.
right? Like it's going to be built right into the bot. It's now one question I've had about the bot is, okay, so you've built FSD for cars on the road, but how exactly does that translate to FSD in bots in your home or in a factory? Like, or on your lawn, or even you so the data that you're capturing through FSD will get you to be able to traverse a street and the signs on the street and all the interactions that occur on a street. But you need the data to feed the machine learning engine to get you there, but you don't have the data for inside a home or inside a factory or inside um, you know even I guess even inside a car, like looking over at whatever your
Yeah.
boxes or your stack of books or something, you know, like pick out this book and drop it in the return slot at the library.
That's right.
So it'd be interesting. I've been trying to think through how they'll capture that data so that they can then build that into FSD. And I thought about, you know, I don't know, the first thing that comes to mind is like Apple glasses, right? You know, and that it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
It'll be very interesting. How that Apple glasses can augment the whole experience for driving even. Yep.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're wearing those in a factory in your house, then there'll be a, I don't know, it's like there'll be a race to capture the most data, you know, in the most different terrains and
everything about it.
Yeah.
I mean, right now the Apple phone is supposedly, I don't know how it does it, but it's pinging every environment in you, and it's taking a full image of every room you're in. Like everything is mapped everywhere you go with your phone.
It's like they probably could do that by, you know, if they took measurements of your location every second or something for a day even. And you're like in your house, they probably could recreate your house to a decent like
whole
sketch,
world.
you know.
So they have like they have the metaverse, even though Apple says they're not interested in it. They're probably leaps ahead of everyone else because of their phone. They've created the whole earth already. I'm sure.
Well, Google too, right?
What's that?
Google too with Android.
Google too
right?
with Android. Yes.
I wonder if that's an argument for a Tesla phone, like some folks have joked about.
Yes. Yeah. I think it's too late for that.
Yeah, there are some things where it just feels like it's too late, right? Same thing with a car, an Apple car. It's like a little too late.
A little too late.
Catching up to Tesla would be pretty tough at this point.
Yeah.
All right, well let's keep moving on here. So Earl of Frunk Puppy Fridays got a nice reply here. I'm sure that made his day. But Tesla drawing attention from, I don't know all these acronyms, CDFEH. I guess I know most of the other ones, but I don't know that one, CDFEH.
Yeah.
But yeah, NHTSA, SEC, and California DMV all at the same time because they're upsetting unions. Oh, so the first one's probably union related. So legacy auto, the oil industry, and the autonomous driving companies, and not paying for ads or buying politicians. And Elon agreed with that, stating exactly.
Elon's shaking the system. He's like, exactly.
He is really shaking the system.
I am the rebel.
I think we talked about this yesterday, but like, there's multiple elements to getting behind Elon and his companies, right? One is just the perfection of the products, right? So he talks a lot about making products that people love. I think he also, you know, when he talks about Starship and SpaceX efforts, this idea of, you know, creating a backup for humanity, but also creating a life that's exciting and hopeful and, you know, something to dream about, you know, and they're bringing that to reality. And this is another element of it. Just not doing things the way that they've always traditionally been done, not falling into line, and just completely shaking things up, and mostly doing it via a first principles mentality of, you know, why are these systems in place and how effective really are they?
He has that first principles. He's like nose down, no distractions, and then at the same time he's like, he does stick his nose into politics, like
he does stir the pot. Yeah, it's
not that he wants to do anything about it. He just likes to push back.
Yeah,
back the rebels.
Challenge the status quo, I guess. Nice reply to Dave Lee here too, which I'm sure is he's gaining his confidence back after Elon
right.
jostled him a little bit. But Dave's saying at some point, I'm not sure when, but Tesla will likely become more of an AI company than a car company. And I know Dave Lee's been talking about that for a long time. But yeah, I agree there. In fact, it almost seems like won't all companies end up
True.
having to become some sort of AI company, or at least having AI departments?
Well, there's that ARC big ideas. They said AI will grow to a $95 trillion economy
Industry, yeah.
or industry. Is that number correct, or I overshot it? Within the next 10 years, that'll be basically everything. Bigger than the actual economy will be the AI economy. So every company
Yeah.
will be an AI company, as you're saying.
I actually have big ideas up. I just leave it up in the background.
All the time.
Exactly. Let's see. So it would boost knowledge workers' productivity by 140%. It could, accelerate productivity gains. Let me see here. Yeah, it was 56. I think it's 56 billion, somewhere in there, but let's see if I can get to the trillion number.
Trillions.
Artificial intelligence could scale from almost 2.5 trillion to 87 trillion in enterprise value by 2030.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, you were close. Very close.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I mean, again, like with FSD, right, you're essentially solving computer vision. And it just seems that once that is solved, even if it is for just the use case of driving cars, the use cases just blow wide open, and robots become very, very interesting.
So do you think
in different forms?
they'll do it Tesla only has so many resources, so they say, say there's the bot and the car, but do you think they'll license the technology out for a fee, or just post it and let other people do it?
I think they'll have to. I mean, unless they're going to operate, unless every car is going to become a Tesla, and I just don't. It's like we were talking about the other day. They can't produce that many.
Well, even beyond the car,
like,
just the
Are you saying like the Dojo?
The Dojo, yeah, I should say, not full self-drive, but the Dojo artificial intelligence will
like machine learning.
Yeah, because the other day,
basically.
he gave a comment to the Microsoft opening up their store or something to everyone else, and they said that's goodwill.
Yeah.
So will he develop this and just sort of offer it to the world to use how they want? That won't be their moneymaker just for them, that it's available to anyone, but they can execute it better than anyone.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that happening, right? They've already open sourced all their patents.
Yep.
He's very outspoken about not creating walled gardens, and the whole mission of Tesla is not to just get everybody in a Tesla, but to get gas cars off of the road.
That's right. There's
whether
that
they're
higher
Teslas
altruistic mission, like even the SpaceX presentation the other day. The first two missions of the company, the priorities, were both altruistic.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so, I mean, I think he feels very strongly about that. I'm sure that his critics would argue that he's less altruistic than he says. I don't know, but I feel that he is. And I think ultimately it'd be in their best interest if their mission, it would be in the best interest of their mission to share that technology.
Yeah, it will. So I
Yeah.
think that's the unique thing about them.
Yep.
All right, what
Okay.
else we got?
So yeah,
Oh,
we're
that's from
back
yesterday.
to where we were yesterday. So we can just take a look over at some of the stuff you liked here. So how it started, how it's going. So this looks like the first
Oh wow, look at that.
first Falcon launch.
The destruction.
Yeah. A young Elon over here, just contemplating it all. And wasn't long before they were right back at it.
Yeah.
And then how it's going. It's a pretty epic shot there.
I have a question about this. So I was thinking about this when I saw this the other day. He isn't they're just using steel now, stainless steel. Wasn't that what they were switching to for the
Just
big
like for the
heavy and all that?
booster, or I mean, I know they have
I thought it was the whole thing,
the heat
and then now
shield,
it's
the
black.
tiles on the heat shield. Well, these
Is
are the
that
tiles, the
is
heat
that what that
shield
is?
tiles. Yeah. So there are
Why
these
isn't the
individual tiles on the backside. See, you can see a little bit over here that it's silver on top, but on
But
the
why do they need?
bottom side,
How come they don't have tiles on the booster? Like, doesn't that need to go through the atmosphere too, or that's just closer? It drops off.
yeah,
Where
I
it
think
doesn't
it must be closer where it turns around, and it doesn't need the full shield on it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I
Well,
mean, you're right, because the shuttle never went into outer orbit, or like beyond low Earth orbit, right?
no,
Space shuttle, and it had a pretty substantial heat shield on the bottom.
that's right. I don't
Good
know.
question. I'm sure there's answers out there.
Maybe it's because there's no people in it.
Yeah, but you still wouldn't. Well,
Like, it doesn't
yeah, I
matter if
guess
it gets
maybe.
really hot inside on the rocket. This is my just
Yeah,
spur of the
I
moment
mean,
thinking.
I don't know.
The heat
Yeah,
shield
and
needs to
there'd
protect.
be like minimal fuel left in it, right? Just to for the landing,
Yeah,
slow it down.
yeah.
Well, I guess that's some homework to take away, and we'll look into that.
That is interesting.
This is a cool shot of these two, I guess they're called Alpha jets, fighter jets flying by the Starship stack there, Starbase. I also saw this from Jared Isaacman as well the other day, because I think he was in one of these jets.
What I've seen other pictures in the past of jets flying by. Why are there jets always flying by?
In the flybys, yeah, I don't. That seems like it wouldn't be a good thing for.
Yeah, I don't understand why is that always
Situation.
happening.
I mean, you wouldn't want to risk one of them like making a wrong turn or something. I don't know. They must be very scheduled for like a photo op,
Maybe.
or maybe. I mean, like I said, I think Jared Isaacman was in one of these, so he probably got permission from Elon to do this.
Got it.
But still a cool view.
Yes.
Oops.
Very.
So he liked this one. Massive effort underway to smear Tesla vehicles as unsafe, and kind of back to that Frunk Puppy tweet that he's just shaking up the system. So if you want to make your opponent look bad, and your opponent's that much better, then I guess all you can do is just talk trash. It seems like there's some efforts or some recognition by, I know Ford, the CEO of Ford, has explicitly said that he's learned a lot from Tesla and from Elon, and they're making some serious adjustments internally to adapt to this new way forward.
Yes.
But gosh, man, there just seems most of the other OEMs are either not interested or
they're
outright
just
like against it.
they're stuck in their thing. It's funny. The Wall Street Journal had an article the other day, like, independent of the Elon world, about Toyota, and the point of view in the article was that Toyota's trouble is not chip shortages, but production of EV vehicles. They're going to be just screwed, that they have nothing lined
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, I mean, it's a completely different assembly process, right? And parts process.
Yeah.
So I know that is part of the argument as to why Tesla's so far ahead, right? It's not like you can just flip the switch and go from making gas vehicles to electric vehicles.
I follow Stephen King on Twitter. He's always good.
Okay, that's scary.
He's a great. He's a lot of political stuff, very political. But he said, he said, all this chip shortage. They can't produce cars. Like, someone should just produce a car without a chip and just call it old school. The old school model.
Yeah, like winding the window down and
yes.
I don't know, maybe like I don't know what you do for like windshield wipers. You just have to hope it doesn't rain.
That's it.
Yeah, that's awesome. We rented a car once over here, and it had crank windows.
Oh yeah.
And the kids were like, what is that? Like, is that the door handle? Like, what does it even do? It was hysterical.
Yeah, they're like, what?
and I know you and I have been talking about for years, like, well, our kids won't even need to learn how to drive. And I don't know, we're getting pretty close. Like,
getting close. I think Dylan, he's less than a year away, so he's there.
Yeah, you don't have, you won't make it, but I might
make it. Might happen.
Could be. Hey, if you follow Elon's timeline, end of the year. Okay, so let's see. This is a great shot from Silicon Valley Club. Just a great sped up video of FSD Beta in action.
Yeah,
those are a dime a dozen, but always just awesome to watch. Here's the tweet we were mentioning earlier about the Canadian officials saying that they're going to move in and shut down this protest. And Liv here saying that, imagine being so kind of ingrained in your ways and dug in after 2 years of opinions about COVID policies that, you can't change.
It's crazy.
I don't know. Not really trying to dig into COVID discussion on this and
no
all that, but
it's outside the area.
I mean, look, it's something
he tweeted it, so you have to talk about it for a second.
It's something that Elon is very outspoken about and has been from the beginning. Doesn't take COVID to be, I think he sees it as serious, but he also feels like humans are prone to panic and we've overreacted once again, right, to the detriment of our society and economy, I think. Let's see, he commented he liked Elon Musk was elected as a member of the National Academy of Engineering. Okay, so we're getting spat back to yesterday now. So this was an interesting video. I don't know what to say about this one, but it was a video of these dudes with this antenna keyless relay attack in which they break into this BMW and take off with it, and the Tesla sits there. I think my biggest takeaway here was, wow, that's really like some Ocean's 11 type weird stuff.
Yeah.
But also, like, what is the deal with this front yard? This might be California, but man, they're like parking on the, like, I don't know what's going on with the sidewalk here. They're parking on is this grass or just
two nice cars on the grass? It's weird.
Man. Yeah, very weird, but I'm happy to see a Tesla not stolen. And that's about where I'm up to. Like, I didn't look into this Billy M2K one, Dogecoin related.
Nah.
So yeah,
I mean, the likes, you can only look into so much. It doesn't even mean he's too vested. He just kind of gave a little.
Yeah, but I think he has been pretty opinionated about Web3 and
yes, he's not a
some
fan
of the flashy words associated with some of this technology. I think he's always been a man of execution, it seems. So.
Is it Half-Life 3? Is that a video game?
I think so. Yeah, isn't it?
So I think that's what he's saying, right? Like
Yeah.
the video game itself is better. I
do
like
love
that next, like the delete,
Oh
the
yeah,
best part's
great
no
one.
part.
And I'm also like just really happy to see James Stevenson getting some love from Elon, because I feel like he spends a lot of time on Twitter and doesn't get a whole lot of responses. So it was cool to see that. It is a great tweet. And yeah, you can really see it here with these two Raptors side by side. So that was cool.
Amazing.
Another Starship, kind of nice fancy shot there. This was someone, Evelyn Carivalo. She was apparently at the presentation with these funky glasses.
Interesting.
And yeah, I think we're like just about caught up. So
photos. Wow, the day of Elon is a lot.
Yeah, I mean, look, we could do this every day, and we're going to try to. So
that's right.
You know, some of it will probably get a little redundant, but it's never a dull moment in the world of Elon and his company. So we're here to comment on that. And
one thing I wanted to bring up, just not Elon related exactly, but we saw Don't Look Up last night.
Did you? Okay.
That movie about an asteroid coming to Earth.
Yeah.
And really when you watch it, it really hits home of the need for multi-planet species.
Absolutely. I think the best commentary I've ever read about it, and it just really clearly laid it out in so many different like analogies, was the Tim Urban Elon Musk series. There's, I think, this second chapter or third chapter maybe is about SpaceX and their mission, and it's just it's great. It really is great. So
maybe
highly recommend that.
One day we'll have a separate episode of Elon Says, where we have the Tim Urban book club discussion. Like
I love it. Yeah,
totally. And assess each section or chapter from there.
Yeah, that'd be great. They're long, but it's
all what Elon said.
So. I heard that there was a satirical figure in Don't Look Up that's kind of maybe seems a little bit like Elon.
There was a guy who played a big part later on that was a tech billionaire. That's Elon, sort of Elon-ish. I thought he was more Peter Thiel-ish personally.
Okay.
But he's like he's kind of like a morph between Elon and Peter Thiel.
Nice. I'll have to check it out. No, it's been up there, but yeah, we're both probably so consumed with Elon's tweets and whatnot that it's hard to squeeze in a movie every now and again.
Yeah.
So, all right, cool. Well, why don't we wrap it up here and catch up tomorrow?
Absolutely. Yes, it's a good one.
All right.